Just trying to impress, trying to be a good guest, I guess. Getting caught up in situations and they never turn out for the best. Spending days like a popular fool, always breaking the rules, skipping school. Smart and tough, but not wise enough to say no when I don't want to. It's always one more hit, one more shot, one more kiss, and the list goes on and on and on. Always get home late, get too drunk, stupid mistakes, and I'm too far gone, too far gone. I wanna be cool, don't wanna look dumb in front of you. Don't know if I can be myself, so I'll be.
I wanted to bring you here on this podcast, not just about what you did or how you produced this music or what the music was all about. I want to bring you on this podcast because I want to know you. I want to know how you got there. I want to know all the obstacles you went through to get to the dream that you have today. Though I'm going to show everyone your music, though I'm going to say, this is Sami, this is what has happened, this is where he's brought his entire life to. How did you get there? How did you make those steps to say, I'm going to get my dreams to come true? And how did you make it happen? That's what I want to ask.
It's a great question. And I'm honored that you're asking me this question. Mostly because this story of, success is strange. My father asked me yesterday on our daily call, he's like, whatever you do, as long as it fits within your vision of success, whatever you define as success, as long as you get there, that's all that matters. And I really appreciated that because going back to when I was 12 years old and driving in the car with my dad, he said to me something that I'll never forget. And it was such a fundamental point in my life. And he said, whatever you want to do, define where it is you want to be, then where you currently are, and the best paths to get there. This is when I was 12. And it was just such a clear mantra that I've never forgotten it, and I've used it on countless people that I work with. So this whole story of Sami releasing and doing music, for a living and just being surrounded and immersed in it, didn't start with me just doing music. It was sort of something that in the most desperate point of my life, after my MBA, after working for L'Oréal Canada, while working for L'Oréal, in a marketing position and doing such amazing things with L'Oréal, and asking myself, do I really care about skincare that much to dedicate my entire existence to this quote unquote beauty world? And when I asked myself that question at 26, I went home and I did an exercise that I make every single artist that I work with now do. And the exercise is called Think of 10 Things. And essentially it's think of 10 things that you are so passionate about that no matter what, these are the things that fuel this ridiculous natural energy within you. I love X. So I started writing. Mm-hmm. And none of those things were I love skincare. I loved marketing, right? I love because marketing is just communication. I love music, obviously. I'm talking about back then. Some of the points on my list changed, but it went on, and the third one happened to be helping people and other stuff. And then I was like, okay, let me break it down to 5 things that I have to have around me every single day. Okay, well, I have to, communicate with people. I have to be surrounded by music, and I really want to help people all the time. Okay, great. And then I broke it down to 3, and those were the top 3. And that manifested until finally what came was creating a vehicle that helped people market their music. right? And that was in 2002. And once I got that idea, it's never left me, right? And that's why I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this, because I have to be the artist who I'm helping market my music. And along the way, I've gone through the upteen obstacles of a 26-year-old starting in the music business. So
I gotta say, passion, love, enthusiasm of something you love directly, not from just the outside, but internally. That's what's going to get you there.
It's the only thing that'll get you there.
I'm so intrigued because this is exactly what we all talk about. We talk about that true passion. And sometimes people are having a hard time finding that passion. And you found it. And you went with it. You had no fear?
You know, that's such an excellent question. Every single person, when I left L'Oreal, when I was working at L'Oreal and I started Fusion Presents, I was literally going to work and doing work at L'Oreal while thinking about Fusion Presents, and then leaving work and then going and working at FP, just trying to come up with the ideas of how we're going to make this thing happen. You know, me and the two other guys that I started it with, we were recording songs every single night, and concocting this vision for the future for Fusion Presents while I was at L'Oreal, until finally I was like, okay, well, I need to do this full time. And it wasn't, it wasn't, oh my God, am I going to succeed? It's like, this has to happen, or else what the hell is the point? And what's the point of I've defined what it is that I want to do in my life. And what I'm so excited about, that I'm dreaming about this, and I want to be in this world and do exactly what I've defined. I want to help people, and I want to make music, and I want to market music, and I'm immersed in this, in all of the things that I'm alive, that make me alive. So spending my time doing anything else at that point was stupid to me.
Yeah.
So when I left L'Oreal and I put in my resignation, every single person, including the people that I started the company with, the idea with, were like, you're crazy and you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Every single person. And I'm like, no, I'm not. To me, this is life. This is what you got to do if you want to be, alive. And that went on to define, on some spiritual existential level, the purpose of life to me. And, I think the purpose of every single thing that exists. Well, let me ask you this question. What do you think the purpose of life is? What do you think, not the purpose of life, what do you think the global purpose of everything is? Such a huge question.
I'm glad you asked me that, but I think the purpose of life is to love. And I also believe is to inspire.
Beautiful. So the way I define it, sorry, continue.
That's how I define mine. And I look at it in such a way that if you can inspire other people like you did to me, I believe that you've just done your purpose in life. You've just made it exactly the way it is. When I saw your music, when I listened to that music, that was me growing up.
Wow.
When you're growing up and trying to fit in with your friends, trying to do the things that your friends are doing just to be cool with them, just to feel like you're included. That was me. And I think when we grow older and we find that love, that true love, that just brings you right through into life.
Amazing. Well, I'm so happy that song inspired you and connected with you. And I'd love to talk more about that song and how that song came to be. But what you're saying is absolutely right. The purpose is to inspire. The way I define it is 2 words: to help. Every single person and every single thing that exists with the purpose to help something else. The pen exists to help you write. The mouse exists to help you do something. If something just exists there with no purpose, think again, once upon a time it had a purpose. Everything had a purpose, I believe. So if you know that the purpose of life is to help, and then, so you have to ask the question, help, why? Why do you want to help? And so that took me one step further to ask, myself this question, that what is the global, universal, multiversal why? And so essentially that question was, well, what do we all want? Right? And, and what does every, if we were to break ourselves down to just energy, the spirit, just energy, what does every single strand of energy desire? So I'll ask you the question again. What do you think, what is the universal desire?
I believe we desire to be known, to be loved. I think that is what it is. We are desired. We're brought into this world. Like, think about it. The moment you're born, you're loved. The moment you grow up, you just want to be loved. You're finding relationships to be loved. You're in the house, you're everywhere you go, you're intrigued and you want to be loved. That's all it is. We're here to be loved. I was actually listening to a really quick online live yesterday, and it said about transforming where you come from this world. All you bring is this energy, and this energy that we're building up in our afterworld, and whatever we're doing is all about love. How did you find that love through the people that you were with? And how did you help others in the time that you were here for? So that is life. Everything is intrigued and put into this little string of love. That's where we're all looking for.
Absolutely. It's, you're not wrong. Love is connection. But there's one element that is needed in order to even have love and have connection.
Yes.
And that's freedom.
Just open up your arms.
It's the freedom to do. It's the freedom to love.
Yeah.
It's the freedom to be. It's the freedom to eat. It's the freedom to do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do it, however you want to do it. And that desire, like water evokes its, freedom. Gravity makes water want to be free and flow. I don't know like the quantum physics or astrophysics nature of the universe, but all I can understand for myself is what I desire is to have the absolute freedom to be and to love and to connect and to help and to exist in a way that not only do I love others, but I love myself first. Yeah. And by loving myself first, then I can love others. But I need the freedom to be able to love myself and the freedom to be able to love others and be around others and so on and so forth. So freedom. So the purpose then is to help people be free.
Love it. And your song actually says a lot about that. I want you to talk a little bit about that because your song brings it all together. Explain where you got that song from first. How did it come about? How was it developed? What brought you to develop this song? I cannot wait. First of all, I cannot wait to share it with everyone.
I think I lost my own speed here making that comment about astrophysics and freedom. But
yeah, I love it though. And when you said freedom, I think the first thing that hit me was you get to do everything and anything the way you want to do it. But in order for you to feel that, you got to feel that inner love, that self-love inside of you. But in order to feel that, I also believe something else. You got the freedom, you got the love, you got that relationship that you need to build what you want to need. But that self-care that we all bring in together, it's that purpose that we're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Never find that purpose unless you believe.
It's there's a phrase that's come that I live my life by mantras these days.
I love it.
And one mantra that I've come up with is shamelessly unapologetic. And that is the freedom to be yourself. And that comes down to, if you were to ask every single person, I guarantee every single person, no matter how shit their life is, if you ask them, if you could be any other person than yourself, would you be? At least from my experience in my sample group, every single person I've ever asked said, no, I'd be myself. I'd be in a different scenario, but I'd be myself. It would be the spirit that I have. And so imagine that you're a vessel that the spirit is living within. Like if you were to picture yourself like that, like you're not just like, you know, people, every creature that exists isn't just, oh, I'm the child of my parents and that's all I am. You know, I've defined it, very philosophically, but this is how I live my life, that a person is, has three elements. Mm-hmm. One is, here's the shell that I'm born in. This is, the DNA that has been bestowed onto me by my ancestry, whatever it is. Here I am, the product of my two parents. Then element number two is my mind has been infiltrated since conception with external information that's coming in, and then you're born, and then you constant your society, your parents, your friends, your siblings, your the media, the music you love, whatever, constant information that's coming in and forming, your perspective. And then the third element is the what you could define as the conscience, awareness. I define it as, X, the unknown spirit that lives within. And I kind of live my life by, okay, so the spirit that is living within this vehicle that has been inundated with information, that is the most important and the leader of this thing that is Sami. And it has to be in charge. And then my mind is the tool that I need to use to, okay, I have all this information and I can analyze everything around me. Let me use my mind to help my spirit make the best decisions and lead forward. And then, of course, my body needs to be in order to be able to do whatever. So this has led to another mantra, which is keep your mind and keep your spirit in charge, keep your mind in check, and keep your body in order, so that you can be free to do whatever hell you want to do and react proactively with love, because your spirit, at the end of the day, is a resonance of love, because all it wants is freedom, and love is freedom. So, believing in igniting that inner spirit, that inner energy, is paramount, and to do that, one way to do that is to be shamelessly unapologetic of who you are. This is me, blah. As long as you're doing whatever you're doing in love, and I believe in it, man. I think it's empowering. It's empowered me once I came to this realization. I'm like, you know what? Who cares what I look like, or what I have or what I don't have? What I have that is unique is the spirit.
Myself.
That nobody can be me, and I don't want to be anybody else but me, right? So where the song came, came from a path of inspiration, but not my own inspiration. A path of inspiring others that led to this particular thing, and a path of others inspiring me to be part of this thing with them. So it all started with us holding a all ages youth jam at the Bennett in Port Coquitlam. And we'd go and we'd set up the full band, and we'd invite different people, young people, whoever, to get up on stage with us. And as I've always done, every single set, between sets, I'd go to every single person in the audience. I'm like, are you enjoying the music? What do you want to hear? This and that, or whatever. And there happened to be a guy in the audience who said, oh my God, my daughter would love this. I'm like, well, where is she? Bring her. 5 weeks later, Khyla shows up. She was the daughter. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, so, you know, have you ever sung before with a band? She's like, no, I was in choir, but I've never sung with a band before. I'm like, okay, great. This is a set list or a song list. Pick a couple. So this person gets up on stage with us, and all of us, including Khyla, are like, oh my God, this is the most incredible musical experience ever, at least of the night. It was like something magical had happened right there. Her voice was amazing. The music was amazing. We all gelled. And after, you know, I went to her and I said, well, I'd love you to do more of this with us. We're here every week. And then she came every single week. And before you know it, she became the lead singer of the band. And then I started hiring her. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's write a song. So we come into the studio one day. This is like 2 or 3 years afterwards, constantly performing with Khyla and us becoming like friends and knowing each other. And we decided, we're like, okay, let's write a song. I go to the piano and I just start playing the first thing. And I'm like, that's nice. Khyla, write something. And she opens up her diary that she carries with her songbook. And she's like, there's this idea that I have that I think would work well. And within an hour, she wrote every single word of that song.
Oh my God.
The song was done literally within an hour. I'm on piano. I'm playing the part. Khyla's on the couch. She's writing the words. Miles is sitting there coming up with licks, guitar licks and stuff like that. And once we had the song, we started recording it, and we had a demo that we would all listen to in our cars 3 hours later. We kept etching it and building it and, you know, refining it until finally we decided on releasing it. And it all comes down to Khyla being courageous to expose herself and her vulnerability as a young woman growing up in this society. Mm-hmm. And the struggles of her having to fit in, but we all related to that. As she was saying it, the first thing when she started singing the chorus, it was perfect because every single one of us in this group is from a minority group.
Yeah. I'm
an immigrant, obviously, and Khyla is from the LGBTQ community, mm-hmm. and Miles is half Bermudan. So all of us growing up had this. I mean, for me, I grew up in Kuwait, but when I moved to Canada as a young student going to a North American university, I had my own issues, and obviously, mm-hmm. Growing up as, someone who isn't, Caucasian, obviously people look at you differently. It just is what it is. So we all were like, okay, well, we relate to this story. It's so relevant, not only to somebody who's young, but to anybody who doesn't fit in a society that is, has been one way. And we loved it. And we just kind of went with her words, because every single one of her words, even though they were, related mostly to a young woman's perspective, the global idea of the song was, I just want to fit in. How am I going to fit in? Oh, I have to do that. Okay. But you don't have to do that. And you don't have to fit into that society, you know, and those peer pressure, you know, and norms. So I'm really proud of it. And musically, we did everything in this room, you know, in this studio. So
where is your group today? Why are they not here?
Khyla is in Wales.
Okay.
She is in university. She's finishing her third year of theater school.
Right.
Miles he just released another single yesterday with a music video yesterday with his band Royal Oak, and yeah, and I'm here talking to you, and
That's
it's
amazing.
and I'm honored to share this story with you, and hopefully it's inspirational to others.
You know what? I brought you here thinking this is what I do. I told you, hey, this is the kind of setting I have on my podcast. And the first thing you did was do exactly what we inspire. We talk about this. We talk about everything to do with your purpose. We talk about everything to do with your life, the way that we live our life today, and how everything comes about, the love and everything that you want is within yourself, and how you built that through that amazing portal of love, through your purpose. You know, finding Khyla out of just a normal day of you just being there, you know, she's sang that one song, it became this ritual every week, and then she became your team. She became you guys. And then this song that came out. And, you know, I haven't played that song to every single one yet, but I'm hoping that I'm able to share the song on this podcast, like a clip of it. So you're going to have to share a little bit of that with me so I can put it right through. But I want people to hear it, because I think the people that I do engage with, the women that we do engage with, we've all gone through that steps. Now, trying to fit in with those friends, you know, yes, you know, they're good friends, you know, they want me to do this, so why not just do it? Yet I wish I could go back to that age sometimes, knowing what I know today. But we all go through stages in life, and I think that's what it is, right? You've gone through that stage in life, I've gone through that stage in life, and we have to go through those stages in order to build every single little love in our soul, to find out who we truly are today. I'm so happy to talk to you today. You have no idea.
Well, you know what? Thank you. I love talking about this stuff. I love talking about my philosophical you know, view on existence, because I mean, what else? We don't know. So the only thing we can do is philosophize about it. And you know, you're talking about, you know, finding your strength and finding your courage. There's, you know, something really important is also the power of no, right? Like, and I deal with this all the time with, you know, a lot of artists that I work with. You know, it's like you feel inclined to always say yes, just because you don't want to upset someone, or you don't want to be perceived as ungrateful, or whatever, you know, the slew of reasons why, you know, people don't say no. But you have to be shamelessly unapologetic. No, I don't want to do this. You can be tactful, you can be nice, you can communicate it with love, you can communicate it and explain why you don't want to do whatever it is, right? But you have to have the courage to truly do what you want to do all the time. Like, it's, you know, to me, it's communication solves everything. So if there's something that comes to you, like an opportunity that comes to you or whatever, that doesn't feel right, and whatever your natural truth is, express it. I feel X. Why don't we talk it through so that maybe I change my mind, or it fortifies and validates the fact that I'm just not comfortable with this particular thing. But you have to communicate your truth. And there's nothing else but truth in this world, you know? And I know this because I went through every relationship until the incredible woman who I'm with right now, I lied to myself about. And I was untrue to myself. And that turned also to be untrue to them. Until this, you know, pinnacle of, you know, of untruths that I just couldn't handle myself anymore. And I was like, no, this is done. I must love myself, love somebody. This is the first single, by the way, that I released. 10 years ago, in November, I released this single, Love Somebody. And the most important thing about, and this is, and the title of the song and the concept of the song is, you know, be kind. But the most important part of this song is the bridge. And the bridge goes, but first, love yourself. Love your dreams. Love the fact that you'll succeed. Love the what is it? Love the path, love the goal, even if it takes a soul, even if it takes a toll. You must believe in yourself and love yourself. And the only way to do that is to be true to yourself. And if you're true to yourself, then you can be unapologetic in your position, as long as you're leading with love and communicating with love, not being an asshole about it and you know, and just shutting people out, but just be true. Truth will always resonate.
I love that.
So that's where we're at. So the power of no, be shamelessly unapologetic, love yourself, go after what it is that you love. Don't be afraid of being vulnerable, as long as you're being true, and keep your spirit in charge, your mind in check, and your body in order. Go.
I love it. This is what I wanted. This is what you gave me. And I'm just so intrigued of it. Like, I cannot, you know, I love having conversations, raw conversations on my podcast where, you know, I just let you talk and you just do it. And you know what the truth is, though, is every little thing that you said is true. And every little thing that you said just hit my heart and has hit my soul. You know, I think I needed to see you today. I think I needed to hear what you had to say. I think I needed.
As did I.
I'm really, 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 truly impressed and so intrigued by you. So I'm inspired. I'm inspired. And I have to say thank you to Ali. Shout out to him for introducing me to you. I am so, so happy. Where do you still play by any chance? In Port Coquitlam or anywhere else?
I'm playing tomorrow night, but not in Port Coquitlam. I'm playing, my band is actually back for the first time since COVID. We're at the Raven in North Vancouver, and it's gonna be a band. It's gonna be the full 4-piece without Khyla, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll FaceTime her and have her sing into the microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also want to say a shout out to Ali. You know, Ali was very fundamental in the success of Fusion Presents. You know, many years ago, when I met him and we, you know, struck up a friendship, I wanted to. At that time, I was very much in debt, and you know, I wanted to consolidate my debt. And Ali's, you know, very smart in a lot of these places, areas. And we had a meeting with Royal Bank, and we went into Royal Bank. Ali and I, he came with me, and we're talking to this person, and she said, you know, asking me questions about the company, and then asked me, okay, well, what's your insurance value? And I said, what do you mean? She's like, how much have you insured all your stuff? I'm like, I don't have insurance. and she looked at me and she's like, how do you expect to value your company if you aren't insuring all of the stuff in your company? And because of that one thing and that one moment, it kind of woke me up as an entity and as a business entity to take myself seriously as opposed to this musician who is trying to, and I'm talking like 13 years ago, this musician who's trying to make it, who's trying to just do whatever and going and performing, but not realizing that as a musician, you're also a business. Your company is a business, and you have to look at it as a business, not, oh, I'm a musician who's running a company. You have to look at it as, I'm a company who's helping musicians. And in order to do that, you have to take yourself seriously. So it was because of Ali that very humble moment, that humble hand that slapped me, metaphorically speaking, existed, and just kind of made myself made me take myself and my company a lot more serious than I did. So I attribute that pinnacle and that moment to Ali Samji. It's I'm very indebted.
They always say you always meet the right person at the right time.
Yes.
And I always believe there's angels around us that lead us to these people, and they come in at the right time. And when they do come in, it's those little moments that they teach you something, and then they fly away like a bird, but they're still there around you anytime you need them.
I'll take that one step further for you.
Okay.
Imagine that we are an existence of angels.
I believe that very strongly, yeah.
If all we are is spirits, and all that exists to our knowledge is energy, then every single strand of energy within us can be regarded as an angel that has the purpose of helping you be free. So if you exercise that at every moment in your day, with every single person, every single animal, every single thing, and just love, you will be the angel to that person every single moment of every single day.
Oh God, okay, I'm gonna cry right now, but you're so right. I do call some of my friends my angels, because if it wasn't for them to lead me to a certain path, or to lead me to the places that I needed to be, I wouldn't be here today. So I am very grateful for a lot of people, and I always say, you are my angel. I always call them that. And so when you said that today, I truly now understand when you say that we all are a spirit, we all are an energy, we are built into that. And for that reason, these are the people that led me to where I needed to be. And I'm so grateful for my angels to be around me today. So
and you are an angel for doing what you do and helping so many people. And also giving me the opportunity to share my story and my truth, shamelessly, unapologetically.
I love it. I love it so much. I love you, and I love your stuff. I love your
Thank you. I love you too.
I always believe that no matter what it is, that if you're grateful for everything in your life, that's where everything starts off. That's your base for everything. What do you say on that?
Every single night, when I get into my bed, I have a gratitude mantra. And you could look at it as prayer. You could look at it whatever. To me, I'm a spiritual human being, as I've expressed. Yeah. I'm not a religious person at all.
Yeah.
But I believe in, like, here we are. We're all angels. Mm-hmm. But it starts with the humble appreciation of everything that we have. A friend of mine David Simons, released a song called Count 'Em Up, which essentially is count your blessings. And what that means is be grateful. Every moment of your existence is in gratitude for the fact that you're alive, that you have this opportunity to love, to be yourself, to help others, to do that. And every single night when I get into bed, it's thank you for the health of my parents, for my sisters, for my nephew, for my grandmother, aunt, and I start just naming people. I'm literally thankful that these people are around me. Thank you for my dog, who I got to spend almost 16 years of my life with, who is no longer with us, but because of this animal, I'm so grateful. Every single night I thank for Whiskey, and I look at her picture and I'm like, oh, thank you, I love you so much, and for all the opportunities and for the abundance that I have, you know. And it's almost like a reset button. When you go to bed, you're like, I am grateful that I had a day, and that these people are around me, and that I've been blessed with everything. And I truly believe if you're grateful, then you're humble, and humility is the core. So one last thing that I want to share from a philosophical perspective, and it is about humility and about gratitude. Here you are, Nish. If you were to take 5 meters in every direction from where you are, from the center of your spirit,
Mhm.
you are the center of this 5-meter sphere. If you were to expand that sphere exponentially and infinitely, assuming that time and space are infinite, you, fact, are the center of the universe.
Yeah, I see that.
Relative to yourself, you are literally the center of all things. If you want to define God as the center of everything, then relative to yourself, you are God.
I totally understand what you say when you say that. Yes.
And let's say this idea of the divine is one that has the power. Every single decision that you make in your life can change the course of the entire universe. If I were to, for example, now take something and do something, let's say I'm going to throw a rock and break my window, that will set off a series of reactions where I would have literally changed the course of all time. I would have broken the window. I would have to tell my landlord. That would, create a whole series of financial things. My neighbor was like, what the hell just happened? Somebody who's walking outside would be like, what the hell was that? They might trip over, they might break their thing. An opportunity that would have come up had they not broken their thing no longer comes up. A car that was driving with its window open had their thing off the road. They smashed, you know what I'm saying? Like, by one action that I would have done as the center of the universe would have triggered and moved all of time and space, at least here on Earth. And God knows where that would have led. So the importance of this one thing is every single one of us has the power to change the universe. So if you have that power, then obviously the right thing to do is to lead with love, so that whatever change you are going to do is one that's going to have a positive impact. But you also have the power to make a negative impact. So that's one. As much as I am the center of everything, the particle that's right next to me is also the center of everything. If I'm sitting next to somebody and I know that they are also the center of the universe, and they happen to act in a certain way that affects me out of my control, I am powerless.
Beautiful.
As much as I am omnipowerful, I am omnipowerless. As much as I have every possible way to change the world, everybody can change my world out of my control.
That's so true.
So how do you, the trick, or the purpose, the point is to balance your power with your humility. I can change everything, and everything can change me. I recognize that the universe around me an asteroid hits us, I'm gone.
Yeah.
I couldn't change that. But I can change certain things within my control. I can create a song that is going to hopefully touch millions of people out there. That million of people will evoke a change that maybe one day, I don't know, can inspire someone to create a mechanism to stop said asteroid from coming in. Hey, check that out. I've inspired somebody to stop something that would have inevitably ruined everybody. Your power and your humility. And if you balance that.
Power and humility. That is beautiful. I love that. I love that. And I love that you said that either we have the way of making the changes and things can change, or others can do the same to us.
Mm-hmm.
That it needs to be balanced. Anything can happen. It's out of our control or it's within our control.
And that's where keeping your mind in check comes in. Because a car is driving towards me. My mind, my clear mind tells me, I better step out of the way.
Right.
So there you go. And then my body that has the ability to move actually functions this.
Something to move away.
Right?
But then by that time, you might hit somebody or you'll be safe. It's out of your control.
Well, that's why your mind is an analytical tool.
Yeah.
Right? Like you use it to analyze and to say, okay, love, what action can I do right now that is going to create a win-win-win situation all the time, if you can, right? It's, you know, one of my partner, Miles, who co-wrote the song with me, you know, is he's always reading stuff to elevate his consciousness and learn. And one of our recent conversations was, I need to learn not to react. And it's one of the, you know, the seven traits of successful people. He's reading this one book, and one of them is be proactive. And this idea of being proactive is, okay, somebody's talking to me in a way that is not full of love. How am I going to react right now? Am I going to react like reactively to this? Oh, my ego is bruised. Or am I going to react proactively? I'm going to understand where this person's coming from. I might try to find the truth in whatever they're saying. I'm going to try to create and give this person as much love as possible and humility, so that one, they realize that, okay, I don't need to talk to this person like this. This person is my ally. I can actually talk to them normally and we can move on. So you have the power. As much as, oh, I'm being inundated with this energy, your power is, well, let me return love. Let me return an energy that this person might not be expecting. We're divine, you know?
So beautiful. And where were you when I needed you 2 days ago?
Well, I'm here now.
It's absolutely true. It's our energies are everything. The way that we react, the way that we do things, the way that we show up. No matter what kind of energy that comes in within us or to us, it's the way that we react that will change the course of everything, right?
Precisely.
And I love that, because when we're fully into our potential or into our mindset and everything that we're trying to build in our own life, all of that comes out. And that's one thing that I need to put into this. It's the way that you react is the way the universe will give you more. So if you start to react with the negative, you're going to keep getting negative.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to react with love and passion and understand that the energy that you're getting may be difficult for you, take a few deep breaths, return the energy in a better way. The universe knows that the energy you're looking for is that love, is that respect, is that beautiful feeling. And that's the feeling you're going to keep getting if that is what you're thinking. And that's the way you're thinking.
Yeah.
So that's
wonderful.
We needed to hear that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And it's...
Sami, I have one quick question for you.
Yes.
I want you to link me the YouTube channel so that I can send it out in my description so people can watch it.
Perfect.
And I also want to know if others want to find you, where you're singing, or any other information about just being you, where can they find you? If they want to talk to you, they want to reach out to you, where would they find you?
Anytime. Everybody can go onto our social media channels. Fusion Presents, FUSIONpresents, YouTube.com, Fusion Presents, Facebook, Fusion Presents, Instagram, Fusion Presents. If you want to reach me, you could also Sami Ghawi on Instagram. You're welcome to send me a message there. I'm also on Facebook. Anytime anybody has any questions, I'm here to help.
Love it. Love it. So I'm going to put that in the description. I'm going to have it all done for you. So if anyone's looking for more in getting more intrigued by Sami, getting more information about his songs, just wanting to talk to him because he's so great. As you can see, he's already put tears in my eyes. So excited to be here with him. Oh my God, my heart is full today. I needed this. I totally did need this. I needed this today. I really did. So thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
I cannot wait for everyone to listen to this. Everyone have a fabulous day. Make sure you subscribe and enjoy your day. Bye, everyone.